Maybe I'm crazy, but Thanksgiving is great again.
Thanksgiving is in 2018?
It is great again.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you taking back Thanksgiving?
Remember last year when people were trying to get rid of Thanksgiving by skipping right to Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
We made it happen.
Oh, Thanksgiving's here.
We made Thanksgiving great again.
It's a real holiday.
Yes.
Is it better than Christmas?
Let's discuss.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not.
Welcome to the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast.
Hey.
I'm Joy Taylor. That's Brandon Newman. It is Thanksgiving week. Very exciting week for all Americans. No matter what your political affiliation is, where you're originally from, this is a week where we all agree that overeating is the right thing to do.
Yes, gluttony, that sin, got it right.
Yes, it is the one week where we all remove judgment. It's the food purge.
Yes,
it's the turkey purge. Yes. Is what it is. Although this year turkeys might make the loser rankings, loser power rankings. Yeah. They're very tricky. You gotta, you're gambling with your life this year with the turkey. Yeah,
especially ground turkey. I heard that was the hot button one.
Really?
I heard ground turkey was the hot.
Do you know how much ground turkey I eat per week?
Tell us, Joy.
A lot.
You eat a lot of ground turkey per week?
Enough that this is significant news. Okay.
The salmonella is leaking into the ground turkey. And I think the regular cooked ones that used to be ones that we used to like, oh, look how pretty that is, now we eat it. That one is safe.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. All
right. Well, no ground turkey tacos for me this week. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yes.
This is a big football week.
Huge.
There's still gonna be a little basketball mixed in here as well, but this is a big football week, and a lot of big football things happened this weekend. Obviously, we're doing this a day early.
Yes.
Colin and I have some obligations after the herd, Monday through Friday, noon to 3 on FS1. By the way, I'm on that show.
We all got our day jobs.
Yes, and so I'm not able to record tomorrow as we usually do. So you're getting the podcast a day early. So lucky you. However, we aren't going to be able to react to the Super Bowl of the year, which is the Chiefs and Rams. That is tonight, or if you're watching this already happens. So that's why we are not ranting and raving about whatever marvelous football action is coming there. But we do have some things maybe on Instagram Live and things like that you can check out. Maybe perhaps we'll see. We're having a little tech issues today, so who knows what's going to happen?
Right. That is very true.
It's one of those days where,
no promises.
Like, things. Yes. Thank you to whoever decorated. It's very festive.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Very
Shouts out
festive.
to Party City and Jose who helped me out at the cashier station.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Shout out Jose.
Yeah.
Hope you're a fan of the. Did you tell him about the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast?
Nah, I had to Heardline News was on. I was trying to get back to it.
Trying to get focused.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this week is a big football week. Obviously, we have the big football Thursday along with the Thanksgiving things. Mm-hmm. I love Thanksgiving. As I mentioned earlier, Thanksgiving, they were trying to kill off Thanksgiving last year. All of you guys were trying to kill off Thanksgiving. And that's a fact. You were trying to skip right ahead to Christmas. And you were so good at it. You almost got me kind of roped into it. Like Earl and I were talking about when we put up our tree, because we put it up mad late last year.
Right.
And it was actually my first real tree.
Your first real tree, since you've left the house for college?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean like in life.
What do you mean?
Like in life, I've never had a real tree.
Y'all lived in
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, yeah.
There's all
we had the attic tree. No. Real trees, very expensive. It's a one-time purchase. You buy the tree, takes apart, you click it in
Louisville, we had, it's
like a little rusty, like after a while, it's like, it's the thing, it's like dangerous,
You gotta clip it in.
Yeah, and then twist it.
Yes.
It's always
like
a little
big
crooked.
Man Legos.
And then you have to bend the branches out because it's been in the box like this.
And when you can't get an ornament on it, you bring one of those other fake ones so it's stronger.
Right, so it's stronger.
Right.
And then you twist it around.
It's the same concept as the real trees.
Right, except for, it doesn't knock over and catch on fire.
Look what Christmas did. We're talking about
I'm
sorry. Christmas trees, Thanksgiving.
I know. So focus on Thanksgiving. Okay, you guys tried to get me. You tried to get me with Christmas last year and I wasn't having it. I demanded that we recognize Thanksgiving before we moved on to Christmas, and look at us. Everyone's loving Thanksgiving this year. I've heard, bits and pieces of, we wanted to put up our tree or whatever. Everyone was very excited to put up the tree, but I don't feel the Thanksgiving disrespect that I felt last year.
No, I think the appreciation is here. It feels like we're taking a beat for Thanksgiving.
Right, we are.
Yeah.
We are. We rushed right through Thanksgiving last year. I did not appreciate it. It's my favorite holiday. I do love Christmas, like everyone does, but Thanksgiving, Halloween's really like my favorite because there's something wrong with me. But
of course. Thanksgiving
is the best because you don't have to spend a lot of money on gifts, and you just get to eat and watch football.
Just all the money on groceries. Did you know
Exactly.
Groceries aren't taxed in California?
They aren't?
Michelle just looked at it the other day.
Well, that's the one thing we're not taxed on. So thank you for that. Whoever passed that law.
Shouts out.
Yeah, like, give us a break somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, not complaining. California's a wonderful place to live. I love it. No complaints whatsoever. This is not the week for complaining. It's the week to be grateful.
Thankful.
And thankful. Yes. And I am grateful. And I'm grateful for the Cowboys this year. Because look at those stupid Cowboys. Just when you think you don't have to pay attention to the Cowboys anymore, or they're boring, they just come right back and manage to get Alex Smith hurt. And so the Thursday game is interesting now.
Well, that was JJ Watt. Thanks, but.
Well, whatever. It's Texas team. The point is,
that's fair.
Thursday's interesting. So the Bears and Lions is the first game. I'm interested in the Bears now. Okay, and obviously the Bears are playing well, and I do think that there's something to that next year.
Okay.
Next year.
Yeah, I was
everyone's hype on Mitch Trubisky right now, and that's cool and good for Mitch Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously their defense is amazing and all of that. But the Lions are stupid, and that I don't take that win over Carolina. It's a nice win. It's a nice win. But
Carolina
Cam Newton doesn't decide to sail that 2-point conversion.
The amount of time he was back there, he could have written the first half of his book.
Why didn't he run it?
Like, that's what I'm saying. There was plenty of spots to run it at that point in time, which is crazy. Cam Newton's taking it on his chin and saying he needs to be better. I respect that. He said that a million times.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the call. Like, I know everyone's flipping out on Ron Rivera. I don't hate it.
A minute left.
Look, you play to win the game.
This is not the same NFL anymore.
I don't know. I think avoid overtime if you can, and just go for it and play aggressive. So look, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's one of those situations where it's like if he had converted it, then they're the big winners and everything's great. Right. And if you lose, it's like, okay, you just lost the stupid Lions. Yeah. And the Lions are stupid again because Patricia's walking around in shorts, and I just can't. I mean, what is that?
That's a football thing. That's a football thing.
I've never understood this thing.
It's a real
what
thing.
is it? What is the deal with the guys who walk around in the shorts in the snow? What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? That you're obnoxious? We know you're fucking cold.
No, that we're of stronger blood and elk
no, you're not.
Society
you're
than
cold.
Others.
You're cold and you're chapped, okay? And your legs are ashy.
At Notre Dame,
there's like a nice
the football players,
thick layer of dry, dead skin that you don't have to exfoliate. It's ridiculous.
In Notre Dame, linemen did not wear sleeves. Offensive linemen didn't wear sleeves. I was on the practice squad, so I was over there with them. So I didn't wear sleeves either. Just unity.
I have a question.
What's up?
Does Matt Patricia play on any of the lines? Does he play on the offensive line or the defensive line of the
He
Lions?
wants to show toughness to his team by being cold and keeping a straight face. It's a thing, Joy. When you're out in those elements,
you know what?
It helps.
It's got to be
a morale booster.
A man thing.
Oh, yeah, it's...
You know what? It's not a man thing because I went to college in the Northeast for a year, and these broads go into the parties in the skirts. It's so stupid.
I say, okay.
What are you... Okay,
it's the same. It's the same thing.
Here's the thing.
It's the same thing.
Here's the newsflash, girls. Yeah. Okay, put a pair of pants on. All right, I felt it that way. I felt it then, and I feel it now. Just put the pants on. Okay.
Joy outlawing skirts.
You're very
out
cold
here for the Christmas parties. Skirts.
There's not enough vodka to cover up how cold you are.
Yes, you're not that warm.
You're not it's one
Lindsay,
more shot. I won't even feel it.
Yeah, Lindsay, put some pants on.
Becky, I need one more fireball. We're good. We can walk 5 blocks. We can walk 5 blocks down and 10 blocks down. We'll be at the fry house. Everything will be good.
I can stand outside 15 minutes after a couple shots of Fireball. Get the body warm.
Fireball is warming.
It's warm. The sugar.
Just a side story.
Another one?
The year that Jason played for the Jets, they played the Steelers at home.
Ooh.
And
that's a big game.
My I can't remember if it was Sarah or Megan. I don't know. One of my friends was working at a bar down on North Shore, which is right by Heinz Field. Mm-hmm. So I had to go there and get blood a little warm before that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a part of it.
I do believe there's a lot of Crown Royal involved in that process.
Shouts out to the hoodie right now.
This is not a Crown Royal. It's Crown Royal Purple, though.
Crown Royal Purple.
It is Royal Purple.
Mike.
Yeah.
I love it.
Knockout.
Shouts out.
Anyway.
Where were we?
Oh,
can I say something? When Brandon was right, I said the Cowboys defense.
We're just going to steal Colin's bit? Okay.
Brandon was right. Where I was right, Cowboys defense is good.
No, you're right about that.
The least amount of touchdowns given up this season, and they could run. There's a lot of teams that could end up 8-8 at the end of the season that we had no idea that they would be.
Well, the NFC East is just stupid. So let's move on. So Bears, Lions. I'm going to go with the Bears, even though it's at Detroit. I'm going to go with the Bears.
Pretty
in that
boy
game.
assassin.
Now, huge loss for Washington. 33 years to the date and the same score. It's so creepy as the Theismann injury. And, shout out to Alex Smith. That sucks. Like, I hate those injuries. It's the worst. The leg is, like, mangled. And
just working with gravity against law.
It's so bad.
And physics.
And I don't like when they replay them on the broadcast either, any of them.
But also don't like them patting themselves on the back. Guys, we're not going to show it to you. It's like, I can just Google it while I'm sitting here.
You can just Google it.
But it's like them proud of,
hey, guess
I'm
what?
not going to, hey, guys, we didn't show it. Hey, do you remember we didn't see it? Did you see it? You didn't see it here.
Exactly.
Did not see it here.
That's right. There's certain fuddy-dud things that I endorse, and don't replay the injury with the leg backwards 15 times. We get it, okay? One time you show it, that's it. We're moving
solid
on.
5, and then that's it.
They play at Dallas. Colt McCoy is their backup. He won there 4 years ago, right? Yeah. So there's that 4 years ago. But that's the game. That's really the game of the day, because Falcons and Saints we'll get to in a second, but there's a lot on the line now all of a sudden. Like we thought the Cowboys were done, and it was looking like it was probably going to be the R-words division, and now the Eagles, I don't know what's going on with the Eagles. They're a disaster. That loss to the Saints is inexplicable.
That hangover. They did party really hard for the Super Bowl, though.
They did. They got after it.
This Super Bowl hangover feels appropriate for like how hard they went.
Yeah, it's like a legit hangover.
Yes.
They're in like the first, are they in the first,
They're
in like
just
the
waking up.
middle stage
It's
of the
like
hangovers.
noon for
you know
them.
what, they're past the, like when you first wake up.
Yeah.
And well, this is how it is for me. It doesn't, hangovers morph over time. They
Oh, yeah,
they
of
get
course.
worse
Yeah.
and they get more complicated. So
They evolve.
Yeah. So the hangover existence that I live in currently at my age and health status is that I wake up and I'm like, it's going to be a hangover day. So I feel like
The night before, the stage 1 starts the night before with me. It's like, oh yeah, it's not gonna be fun tomorrow.
I can never really tell. I can never tell how bad it's going to be.
Yeah, sure.
So, because sometimes my body tricks me and they're like, yeah, you just take a nice nap.
And you feel like a superhero.
And
You're
I'm
like,
not superhero, but like I'm
Right.
okay, I'm functional.
you text everybody like, I'm not even hungover today. What y'all doing?
No. That's insane. So that's what I'm saying. So you wake up and you're like, I don't feel perfect, okay? But maybe this will be okay. That's a trap. Because then you go through a phase where you're like doing stuff, maybe I'll go do yoga, we get breakfast, and like, I'm not starting to feel well. And then I get incredibly tired, like non-functional tired.
Yeah.
And then
Drowsy.
I feel like absolute dog shit for the rest of the day. They just had breakfast and they're starting to realize this day is going to be a hangover day. That's the status of hangover that they are in right now. So anyway, the point is the NFC East is wide open. And then the Giants have decided to start doing things inexplicably. Stupid
Okay.
Giants.
No, don't.
Pump the brakes.
No,
No,
don't do
they're
that.
going to run
This
the
point in
table.
time in the
Odell
season,
called it.
the running games travel and defenses travel. And at this point in time in the season, I won't say the defense is there for the Giants, but at least the running game is strong enough
That
to...
was so broadcasty cliche
What?
of you.
It is. Broadcast cliche.
He's growing
I imagine-
up.
I literally, as I said it, I imagine myself in a film room with my coaches, and I thought about how good our defense is on the road.
All right, if
That's
y'all could
real.
have Eli or Dak, who are you going with?
I mean, am I keeping it 100 right now? Because
Yes, always.
Whose weapons am I using?
What's the situation we're in this scenario? Like, are you saying am I going to
has the
go with
worst
the Giants
weapons?
or am I going to go with the Cowboys in this situation? Like, yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, but like, what's the scenario?
I'm just saying, which quarterback would you rather have?
Moving
who do you have
forward,
more
Dak.
trust in? There you
Okay,
go.
but like, is this a big game?
Sure.
Like, final moments? Don't hit me with the Dak and the fourth quarter comebacks and all that. I don't
Zeke
care.
outweighs Saquon, right?
Oh,
Okay, but now you're talking about. So you asked me if I like
Yeah.
the Giants or the Cowboys better.
Well, you keep
What's the
saying
Cowboys
difference?
actually
you keep saying
playing
the
the
Giants are
Redskins.
gonna.
The Cowboys are actually playing the Redskins, and Adrian Peterson is their running back,
Right.
and Colt McCoy, who is 7-18 as a starter, is their quarterback.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to take the Cowboys in this game. I don't know what you're asking me, but
I'll take Cowboys in the NFC East.
I'm going to take the Cowboys. And yeah, I think so. Because I honestly...
That's what I was saying. There we go. Thank you,
I
Brandon.
was
Thank you.
leaning towards
Sorry
the
about
Eagles,
that. Yeah.
obviously, because they're the Super Bowl champs, and they looked like they had most of everything still in place. Lane
But-
Johnson speaking into existence, though, man.
Somebody has to.
I mean, I'm kind of... I didn't originally feel like what he was saying was that outrageous when Colin was flipping out about it, saying that he'd rather have one championship and have fun than 5. Like, you make you wish.
I'm
You
with
may get you wish.
I'm with Lane still.
You're,
And
yeah.
I bet he still agrees too.
He's having fun.
He had that one.
Losing by 41 points.
He had that one.
Super
Everything else
fun.
is his job now.
Anyway, I'm going to go with the Cowboys in that game. And finally, Falcons at Saints. Saints are crushing everybody. I don't know. They're just unstoppable.
Yes, it's second consecutive game win over 35 points in the NFL since like 2004. It's crazy.
And they're at home. Yeah. I think
the Falcons
I think they're going to destroy the Falcons.
Their defense is actually like wet dog.
They're
like
really bad,
dog.
and the Saints are so good on offense. I know that's really tough to like. What I just said is very hard to break down as a football expert. But this 1 = 1 is basically going to equal bad. That might be the nap game.
I don't know. No,
I know it's later. I know it's later, but you might. But sometimes a later snooze is good. But you have to. You got to save the napping for them because look, you have to schedule the napping. Okay, so obviously Bears and Lions way too early for napping. Okay, like that's like prime. People are still cooking.
What's that? 9:30 for us.
9:30 a.m. I'm assuming these are East Coast times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the R words at the Cowboys. That's prime eating time. Okay. And since this is a really good game, you can't miss any of it because the napping would come towards the end of that game, and we're assuming that it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm not calling a Cowboys blowout. So Falcons Saints, that really is like for the East Coast. Sorry guys, like you might have to just call it early night, but I'm saying like first quarter is nap time.
End of a movie time. You put a movie on at the end of the last game because.
Oh, because everybody doesn't watch football?
The Cowboys blowing out. Amari Cooper's playing. Zeke Elliott is the second leading rusher right now in the NFL.
And Cowboys is on Fox, so there's no napping during
That's what I'm saying. That's it. And then maybe somebody put a movie on in between the games.
Elf is the perfect Thanksgiving movie. Thanksgiving dinner movie.
A good 90 minutes.
What do you mean? It's the perfect because once everyone has done eating,
it's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time, exactly. Once the meal is done, everyone has had dessert,
you don't even
it's Christmas.
digest, and it's Christmas time.
Yeah, now it's officially Christmas.
And we over here fighting for Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah, the next day is Black Friday, and that's Christmas. Yeah, literally, when dinner is done on Thanksgiving, it is now Christmas.
Yes, Cyber Monday.
I'm already in Christmas mode. Sorry.
Well, you know what? You are filling Heller's spot terrifically today, Ashley. Okay, you really are. You're female Heller right now.
The most insulting thing you've ever said to
me. But it was meant to be an insult. Okay, since we have reached the end of our very football-y breakdown of the games on Thursday, we are going to give you our top 5 Thanksgiving sides. Now
I've been waiting for
them. My list is better. It's just
I changed one thing in my list when I saw your list.
Yeah, because you forgot.
Yeah.
You forgot.
I always forget.
You do always forget. Because I'm better at food than you. All right, so let's give your list. Let's go back and forth.
Yes,
all right. So you give yours first. What is your number 5?
Number 5. It was bread. I had bread on the list. Then Joy put in her list, and deviled eggs is number 5.
Yes.
And it's like the strongest number 5 ever existed.
It's so strong. I was tempted to move it up, but I feel good about my list. So yes, deviled eggs. I agree with you. Bread. I don't know what you're talking about. Bread. I don't eat bread on Thanksgiving because there's so many delicious options for food that eating bread feels disrespectful to the other foods.
Stop. Thanksgiving sides are top heavy. It's a top heavy division.
But I can't. Okay, I have
and
to.
It gets really
I
weak
can't
at the
eat that
bottom.
much, so I have to portion off the space, at least for the first meal, to make sure that I get all of the different tastes. So bread is not on my list. Okay, I get it. People like bread. Thanksgiving is not the day for bread for me. So deviled eggs are incredible.
Okay, you want to go for it?
They are no. The deviled eggs is 5.
I know, but I'm saying
you want me to go for it? Okay,
yes.
yeah, sure. We can switch it up, make it weird. Deviled eggs they're tasty.
Yes.
If they're made, everyone has a different kind of flavor.
Unfortunately.
I personally like my mom's and my older sister's the best of everyone on planet Earth, and I've had a lot of deviled eggs.
Nice.
They just have the perfect balance of the relish and the paprika. Which is so crucial.
Very
and
important.
if you don't have the paprika on your deviled eggs, is it really a deviled egg?
I'm like, what are those eggs doing? Cut in half, sitting over
With
there
some
on
stuff.
a tray.
Right. Where's the stuff?
Are they to be moved to the garbage, or is there a paprika line?
They're not finished yet. Can you hurry up because I need to eat them? All right, and I eat at least 6 deviled eggs.
Oh yes,
before the meal is even served.
I put 2 on my first plate, and then I have one just like looking around, and then there's another one that's on the last plate.
Are they such a delicious snack in the middle of the meal?
They're just a palate cleanser in a way
so
that
good.
I don't know.
Because they're cold, a little bit.
Yes, and it's just
they're so good. Okay, they really should be higher, but
Jesus,
I feel like
still 5 minutes on deviled eggs.
I feel like we gave. I know. I have so much more to say, but I feel like we gave them their proper due.
Yes.
Okay, so my number 4 is greens.
I accept it.
Everybody can't make greens.
No.
Everyone should not attempt to make greens.
Nope.
Sauteed spinach is not greens.
No,
okay?
it is not. It's sauteed spinach.
Greens are made over a long period of time.
Weeks even. Maybe. I don't know.
They take all day to cook. All right. They have their own pot.
Own
if there's
section
no
of the kitchen.
meat in the greens, they're not greens. You've
bones
got to
in the
have a bone-in piece of meat in the greens. And my mother's greens are my personal favorite. But I've had other great greens. I've had not good greens.
Yes.
The point is, don't up the collard greens.
Yes. When the hot sauce hits the collard greens, there should be a merging of souls. It should look finished. When the hot sauce is on that dark leaf. Oh, that dark wet leaf.
I'm so hungry.
So
my
good.
lunch is going to be Doritos.
My fourth, stuffing.
Okay, so
stuffing is
wet bread.
Stuffing is not wet bread. Stuffing is acceptable casserole. That's what stuffing is. Think about it.
Listen,
bread casserole is basically what stuffing is.
Yeah, it is bread casserole,
and it's delicious.
I don't like stuffing, and I eat everyone's stuffing because people are very serious about their stuffing.
Stuffing should
and
low-key be my
every
fifth.
time every time I make a plate and there's no stuffing on it, someone finds me. It's like, oh my god, you gotta try the stuffing. I'm like,
you have to try the stuffing.
Sure, can't wait. I'm sure your stuffing's the best stuffing.
Yes, you have to try the
it's
stuffing.
It's not because it's just wet bread.
Well, let me move on to my third, because my third is gravy. Right? And sometimes gravy isn't like a bit, so it's either gravy or other stuffing, because most people have two stuffings in the house. There's like the stuffing that somebody
depends on
had.
how big the family is.
There's multiple stuffings. There's multiple stuffings.
No, because it depends on how serious the person who usually makes the stuffing is about their stuffing. They don't allow other stuffings.
If there's
they
not
find to be
multiple stuffings,
offensive.
there's gravy.
People are very, very serious about their stuffing. Like they think their stuffing is the best stuffing.
It's disgusting.
Guess what?
It's honestly,
Yours is your stuffing is
obsession
is
gross.
fine.
It's
okay,
childish.
it's
Where does
just
the best stuffing come from?
Nowhere, because I don't like stuffing.
It comes from somewhere. I don't want to know. It's one of those
Are
things.
you gonna say
like,
Texas?
A box.
a box? Oh yeah,
Oh.
stovetop. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how it's made, but it's definitely in a box.
Gravy is very important, though. A proper gravy is very important. I wouldn't consider it a side, but proper gravy is important. All right, my number 3 is
side.
corn. I love corn.
Stop.
I find it's a nice little crunchy, sweet addition to my pile of food.
It's terrible.
I love corn. I don't care what anyone says.
Filler.
A nice roasted corn, regular corn with some butter, a little bit of pepper, sprinkle of salt. Delicious. Don't even care if it comes out of a can.
Corn is a conductor.
It is
There's certain
so
foods that are
good.
conductors of just butter and seasoning.
Yes, it is a conductor.
Corn is a conductor of butter and seasoning.
Yes, like bread. Corn is a reason to eat butter and
Make
seasoning.
cornbread.
And cornbread.
Okay, now cornbread.
Now, cornbread did
I'm
not make
always
the
here for
list.
it.
Cornbread did not make the list.
Because
but,
I wanna-
but I have had so many bad versions of cornbread. People trying to pass off cornbread. It's bullshit.
That is true.
If you can't make
That
a
is
good
true.
cornbread, just buy the cornbread from the store and tell
Yes.
everyone you bought it. Don't try and make the cornbread.
That,
So that's why they didn't make the list, because there's very few people who can make good
the
cornbread.
problem is
Boston Market makes the best cornbread.
Boston Market. Shouts out to Boston. Boston Market
I'm
does
not
make
gonna go
good
with
cornbread.
best. I'm not gonna go with best, but it's
Right
very
at the
good.
top, sticks to the roof. So listen, the thing about cornbread is the people who like try it is like when you hear someone's coming to dinner and they're like, oh, Brandon likes cornbread. I'm gonna make cornbread. It's usually not the best venture. You
No.
just, don't taint cornbread for me.
All right, so what's your number 2? Or I'm gonna do my number 2. I'm gonna do my number 2 because we're doing a
number two.
snake
Yeah,
for some
yes.
reason. Okay, mashed potatoes. Mashed
Another filler.
potatoes are
Conductor.
incredible. There is no Thanksgiving meal without mashed potatoes, as far as I'm
Unfortunately.
concerned. I like all mashed potatoes. I am a mashed potato fiend anyway. I had mashed potatoes for dinner last night. I ate very late. I didn't want anything heavy. Mashed potatoes.
You didn't want anything heavy, so you chose
I didn't
food
want like
glue.
a steak.
You want to eat food glue.
Food glue is
yes, not
mashed
something
potatoes
too
is
heavy.
food glue.
I'll have some food glue.
Another conductor
Food
for
paste.
butter and seasoning. Okay, and you can make chunky mashed potatoes. You can make whipped mashed potatoes.
Potatoes are grande is
The
as far as I
whipping,
go.
Potatoes are grande, also amazing.
Only thing I'll do.
But mashed potatoes is my number 2.
Potatoes.
And because it serves as, like you said, food glue for all of these foods to be mushed together for a bite in my mouth.
Number 2 on my list is also my favorite Thanksgiving dessert, sweet potato casserole.
Okay,
With the marshmallows on the top in the pan.
I love sweet potato casserole.
I don't know who started it, but it seems to have caught on, and I am happy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
love
grew
sweet
up
pota-
with it
I
as much.
I love sweet potato casserole.
Right.
But for me, I am a salty person. So
Yes.
I eat all my salty foods first, and then I proceed down the line of the desserts. And for me, I like the sweet potato casserole as a dessert.
It serves as both.
I allow it as a
Yes,
side because
yes.
most people consume it as a side, but most people
It's
also
actually cheating that it's even on the list
yeah, kind of.
because
But
it's like so sweet and
I'll
delicious.
allow it. All right. So for your number one, what is it?
Cranberry sauce in a can. Cut it where the ridges are. Go. There's no Thanksgiving without cranberry sauce. No Thanksgiving without cranberry sauce and the ridges and the slice of whatever the thing is that I'm eating.
I want to save my opinions on this later, but it's just the worst number one of all power rankings in the history of power rankings ever.
Cranberry sauce?
This is offensive. This is as offensive as anyone who makes a power ranking list of the top college football teams of all time and puts anyone other than the 2001 Miami Hurricanes there. That's how bad this cranberry sauce list is.
You're talking to the Alabama
this
guy
whole,
in the room.
the whole list is Alabama's fine. Okay, let me know. Let me know when like 30 of the players on the Alabama team this year go on to be NFL starters.
Yeah.
5 Hall of Famers.
They could use a quarterback
Pass.
in the NFL.
All right, finally, my number one on the list. I don't know how this is not even on your list. Is insane, and that's macaroni and cheese. I mean, thank you, Jeremy. Like, what on earth are you thinking not having mac and cheese as in the top 3 at least is acceptable, but not even on your list for top Thanksgiving sides?
Honestly, it's probably the biggest heel turn to my like Midwestern roots that I have. But like, it's the cows, man. There's a lot of calories in that. I can't shake that off. If I have the Thanksgiving that I want with the mac and cheese that I want, I'm not working that off until around April.
No, nobody's working anything from Thanksgiving off until around April. That's the point. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. It's the week of gluttony.
Listen,
This is the week that we sin with the
mac
food.
and cheese, no thank you.
I don't even know what to make of that.
No, thank you.
And to be clear, for anyone who's confused about the macaroni and cheese that I'm talking about, if you haven't had proper macaroni and cheese,
Don't say
macaroni and
proper.
cheese is not a meal. Okay, it doesn't come out of a box.
Mm.
All right, macaroni and cheese is in a large container. Okay, it's crispy on top with extra cheeses.
Yes.
Okay, it has
Yes.
a corner, which is the best.
Ooh,
but
that corner piece.
you know, there's only 4, so usually the elders get it.
Yes.
But if you don't get a corners
Or the
side,
golden
you can get
child.
a side piece.
Golden child
you can get a
gets
side
some
piece, or
corners.
the asshole that gets up and gets the food first, which is always me.
Right.
So but if you can't get a corner, you can get a side piece that has extra crust on it. Don't up the macaroni and cheese either, and it's clearly the number one side
Macaroni
of all
cheese.
time.
Michelle loves macaroni and cheese. She told me I think it was 2015. She said, "Don't let me order macaroni and cheese at a restaurant ever again," because it's such a heavy thing to order. Mac and cheese.
I mean,
And you're also at the
so
whim
off-brand for you.
of that restaurant's mac and cheese.
You are at the whim.
Being handcuffed to that restaurant's macaroni and cheese
You are at the whim.
is quite the handcuff. Because
But-
when you want macaroni and cheese and then you get somebody else's macaroni and cheese, it's a terrible
That's
day.
why you should only ever order baked macaroni and cheese if you're going to do it in a restaurant.
Baked beans. I should have put baked beans on my list.
Ooh, baked beans. Baked beans.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna have some sides that we didn't include, but I feel like my list is indisputable as the best list.
You usually do.
Correct.
With it or quit it. With it. Quit it.
What?
We about to turn up in this bitch.
All right. What am I winning or quitting today? By the way, this is very
What?
festive.
Yes. What is it? What
I'm
are we
assuming
looking
this
at?
is a corn and not a tie.
It's the husk of a corn.
Husk of a corn.
Yes. Let's eat.
And this is offensive.
Okay, so what Joy's holding up right now is a traditional headband.
Oh, this is traditional.
Where for native ceremonies, when feathers coming out, if you have seen Jungle to Jungle with Jonathan Taylor Thomas
I
and
have.
Tim Allen, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Native Americans. I don't like the Pilgrim ones. That's the
Moving on. What am I
needs
winning or quitting? Okay.
All right. Defense wins championships, and yesterday the Steelers needed that D to keep them alive against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Big Ben and the offense woke up in the fourth quarter, and the Steel Curtain 2.0 allowed only 3 field goals in the first half and sacked Blake Bortles 6 times. Joy, defense will push the Steelers to the Super Bowl. With it or quit it.
Oh no, quitting that.
What?
Quitting that for sure.
Defense? If they show up, they win game.
Yeah, but Ben was the one who managed to stretch out
Don't be
in
one of those
heroic
people.
fashion at
Don't do that.
the end of the game.
Broken Ben.
All right, look, I'm not going to lie to you because everyone else is doing it right now. Let's be serious. Ben got his life saved at the end of that game because had they not thrown that flag, which it was a good call.
Yes.
I don't love refs deciding games like that, but it was a good call.
You could also say that quarterbacks like that do pick on certain players that they think will make a penalty in a crucial situation. That guy tried to rip what's his name's helmet off.
Yeah, I mean, he did. It was
Steelers,
a
Cole
good.
Beasley.
It was a good call. Okay, that's funny. It was a good call, but he saved Ben Roethlisberger's life in that spot, which is why Ben Roethlisberger risked his life to outstretch, and he missed. He had his knee up by like 1 centimeter. That could have gone badly very easily. So I don't want to give the Steelers too much praise in that spot because now the Jags are losing, and it's looking like a disaster for the Jags, which I called at the beginning of the year. And
Yes,
they're now Steelers are first in the AFC. And they're fifth in the NFL for yards per game and fourth in the NFL for points per game, and everybody's singing their praises. And look, I'm happy about it. Great win. But let's not pretend like that could have gone the other way very, very easily.
It was going the other way the entire game.
Right, but they came back, and that matters.
Right,
and,
yes, very much so.
And that's something. And Pittsburgh is rolling, and James Conner did not have a good game yesterday.
No.
So there's that. That's a big part of it, and that says something about Jacksonville's defense. But the problem is, and this is what it comes down to for me, and this was always come down for me with Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville's defense. I always have. I think that they're fun and they're loud
Talented.
and they're talented and they have big personalities and all that's great, and I like that about defenses. However, they got Blake Bortles, okay? And at the end of the day, I just don't care about that team because they've got Blake Bortles. It's just like the Dolphins. It's like I can't get excited about the Dolphins because at the end of the day, who's their quarterback?
That's perfectly fine. You not caring about a team is okay, but even last year proved to you that a quarterback that you could not care about can still win a Super Bowl and get Super Bowl MVP.
Right, when you have a great team around him.
And that happens over time. These teams
All right,
are getting better and better. The Jags are.
Yeah, but they're stuck with Blake Bortles.
No,
okay?
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It's
a
done.
wrap for
I
Jags.
think it's time that you just admit I've been right about Jacksonville all the time.
Big Ben had his 41st comeback in the fourth quarter or overtime, which is crazy. And he still has that. That means he's going to last longer than Tom Brady in the NFL. Heard it here first. But yes, you were right about Jacksonville.
I was.
Greatness is situational. Their time has passed, unfortunately.
Yeah, you have a very small window.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about the Steelers this year. And also, I think that the way that the NFL is trending, being so offensive heavy, this is why having a great defense is fun. But I'd rather have a Steelers defense that really nobody talks about and stick with a Hall of Fame quarterback and a high flying offense. Because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna win you games now. Because if the defense does what it did at the end of the game, what Jacksonville's defense did, then you're losing, and that's what happened. Yeah. So I like the Steelers. They're at Denver, and then they have the Chargers, and they're gonna win the AFC North. So
2 games ahead.
That's that. All right, what's next?
2 games ahead, yeah. Okay. 9-1 Chiefs against 9-1 Rams. It's an AFC versus NFC strength check in Los Angeles via Mexico City. The storylines: Mahomes versus Gurley for MVP, great veteran coach versus great young coach. I love Sean McVay's high-powered offense, but it may not be enough to outscore Mahomes and the Chiefs. Joy: winning in primetime will guarantee Mahomes the MVP. With it or quit it.
I'm going to quit it only because the Saints are playing so well, and Drew Brees is Drew Brees. So
we're going to bring deserves into the MVP narrative.
Look, like
because that's what always happens. Every time the word deserves get thrown around, somebody wins. Somebody else wins.
Listen, I think
random.
Mahomes was great. I love it. I love the Chiefs, but the Saints are just incredible right now. So that's not a knock on Mahomes, and not saying he doesn't deserve it or he could still win it. I'm just saying it's not going to be as simple as he wins this game and it's a wrap.
This is supposed to be the game of the century.
It is.
And if he comes out,
century's lie. Okay. Okay. This is definitely the game of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Hyperbole is here, but for sure.
No, this is the game of the year. Huge game. I'm very excited for it. I actually think it means more to the Rams than it does to the Chiefs because this whole game has a lot going on. Remember, this was supposed to be played in Mexico City at Estadio Azteca, and then it got moved because the field conditions were bad because of Shakira's concerts. Okay, hips don't lie.
Nope.
And so
They do
now
tear
it's in
field,
LA. LA does not have a good home field advantage, which because there hasn't been football here in 20 years.
Right.
So they're not endeared completely to the city yet, which is understandable, and that's just a fact.
Right.
And the Chiefs are on the road.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot going on here. Like it's a it's more important to the Rams that they beat the Chiefs in this situation.
Yeah.
So I think that the Chiefs will win, but I think that the Rams have more of an obligation to win this game.
So you do think Chiefs will win?
I do think the Chiefs are going to win,
Good. Yeah, well, because the Rams went out and spent all this money on defense, got a lot of big pieces in the right place, and this is where those pieces are supposed to pay off in a game like this, in the magnitude. But the Saints show that the Rams can't play down. That once you get a running, if you go down and then the running game starts going with Kareem Hunt, the Rams may not be able to come back from that. Their run stop defense isn't that good.
Yeah, I just think that I think the Chiefs can just score more. So that's what it's going to come down to. But I do think it's more important for the Rams to win this game. I'm excited about it, though.
No, it's going to be great. Since everything's bigger in Texas, Warriors fans should be officially freaking out after Golden State's big Texas losing spree. Steph and Draymond are out with injuries, but the Warriors' dysfunction and losing have given the rest of the NBA hope. Joy, this is the last year of the Warriors' dominance. Win it or quit it. Talk to him.
Yes, I am going to win that.
Yes, that's all I care about.
Because I think everyone is grossly overreacting to what's happening with the Warriors.
But
I do think there's something happening with the Warriors, but that's what I think is going to manifest next year. So this year...
But remember at the end of the season last year, David West was saying that people would be surprised and shocked at what didn't get out from that team. So what if this is the year that's getting paid off from last year's dysfunction?
Yeah, I maybe, but I don't think that... I think what happened with Durant and Draymond Green was unfortunate. I think it was a product of Draymond Green being an emotional person and KD being KD, who can also be emotional. And it happens. And look, sometimes you just can't take things back that you say, and that's life. So you gotta choose your words wisely. And they suspended him, which is also, there's something to that. But you remember, Draymond Green is a part of that core. Okay,
he was before he got suspended by the organization. Okay. Big Bank Tank, Little Bank. They made a statement who they care about and who they're going to back up, and it's Kevin Durant.
And that should be not a surprise to anyone because Kevin Durant is the number 2 player in the entire world.
Okay, but talk about how important Draymond is. Can go out the window. You have to think long term. I'm not going to dismiss all the moves that Golden State has made that have gotten them to be successful at this point. Like Draymond Green works with the Warriors, and I think Draymond Green knows that. And I don't think Draymond Green is about to go out and be like, go out into the free agent market and be like, yeah, I'm Draymond Green. Like, he's going to stay with the Warriors. They can't trade him. They can't get rid of him. Yeah. He's a part of that core. That might
but
be
the
problem,
reason everyone's freaking out, though, like they're doing some losing, and it's like, oh, the fight and the energy in the locker room. And okay, just calm down for a second. Steph Curry is hurt, right? Draymond Green is hurt.
Steph Curry hurt is one of the reasons.
They just had a huge situation blow up while both of them are hurt. Okay, I know Draymond came back for a game, but he's off again. Okay, Alfonso McKinney is also hurt, and DeMarcus Cousins hasn't played yet. All right, so let's just all stop freaking out. You know, last year, the record was at this time last year, 13-5. You know what it is this year? It's 12-6. Why don't everybody just fucking relax?
That's a different 12-6, and especially it's a different 4 when Steph Curry's not on the court because Steph Curry is constantly not on the court.
Okay,
so how can he be the glue of this dynasty if he's not playing?
Steph Curry is not constantly not on the court. Okay, yeah, I get he has injuries. This is a new injury for him. Yes, he has injuries. Everything's gonna be fine. Everyone relax, okay? I'm not saying that this isn't a thing. It definitely is a thing. It may end up manifesting later on in the season because if they still have injuries late into the season, they could be vulnerable. But all I'm saying is they're still good. This is not the end just yet. Everyone just relax just a little bit, okay? Don't do the thing you do every single year with the Patriots. Like, it's over! Finally, the rain has ended!
Okay.
And then you take that out. Just that's my advice.
2-4 with Steph Curry on the bench, and Steph Curry's on the bench a lot during the playoffs. Ankle this, wrist
all right,
back.
well, KD will get the opportunity to prove who KD is then.
Okay,
and that'll be good for all of us.
Yeah, it'll be great for all of us.
Hear ye, hear ye. I'm not exactly sure who is petty. Like, who should we say is petty?
Low-key Society or something? The Browns, whoever leaked the information is petty. Because they're trying to start some stuff.
Okay. Hear ye, hear ye. Anonymous sources are petty.
Again.
Usually they are.
Yes.
In general, they're the source of sources.
Yeah.
They give out information and they don't put their name to it.
Anonymous
So
because they're petty.
yeah. First of all, I love that turkey hat. I love the
Thank you.
green trim
Yes.
because who does that? Except for rich people.
Tinkerbell. Yeah. What is like? I've never seen a turkey.
With the green trimming
Right,
around,
yeah,
like with the kale.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's delightful, and I like mine too. So we're being festive, so that's why the crown is not here today. For anyone who's missing that, they're just gonna be like, "Where's the petty crown?" So in petty court today, there was big news toward the end of last week, and it's now spilled over into this week, which is that general manager of the Browns, obviously they have an interim coach of what's his bucket, Jennings, right? What's his name?
Greg Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, Greg
Why did I say
Williams.
Greg Jennings? Not Greg Jennings. Greg
Yeah,
Williams.
You got the Greg part. You didn't say
Greg.
the Greg part.
Greg.
But you said the yes.
Yeah, Greg Williams
Yes.
is not going to be coaching there next year. But for now, he is because they fired Todd Haley and they fired Hugh Jackson.
Yep.
And Todd Haley thought he was going to get the job. Both bye-bye. So John Dorsey was asked about who he was going to be hiring as coach, most of which we don't care about right now because it's the middle of the season and it's the Browns and who cares.
Right.
But he said something that made one very sexist person laugh, which I'm still hunting for. Do your job, Browns. Who's the guy who thought it was so hilarious? Anyway, John Dorsey said that he's going to hire the best person for the job, a man of character, blah, blah, blah. And he said, who knows, it might be a woman. To which was a hilarious joke to someone in the crowd. I'm being serious.
You making me mad. I can't be looking bad laughing at you laughing at that's a joke because it's crazy. It is crazy.
Anyway, it was a hilarious joke to
Yes.
someone in the crowd at the press conference that he would possibly hire a woman for this job. So that got everybody talking about, like, well, that's not really even possible because there's no women really in the pipeline for the job, la-di-da-di-da. And then someone decided to put Condoleezza Rice's name in it. Okay, here's the thing. Just stop it with this foolishness, okay? No disrespect to Condoleezza Rice, but in no way is she qualified to be a coach in the NFL.
She know that too.
Okay, she does know that, and she put out a statement, and she denied it. She said she's not ready to coach, which is a funny way of saying I'll never be a coach.
Right.
But she would like to
coach.
call a player or two the next season around these ideas. It's very cheeky and kind of dismissive, but like her name should never be mentioned anywhere around any type of coaching circle of anything, whatever, period, okay?
Disrespectful.
That's just a fact. Like, she was obviously a part of the college football playoff committee for a few years, and then her committee got cycled out, so that's fine. Like, I didn't really love that either, but the reasoning for her not being in it was like, oh, well, she's never played the game. Like, it's okay, with that, all right?
Yes.
I'm not naming any names, but I remember who you are when you said it, okay? I don't forget, all right? I'm petty. But anyway, the thing is, she should not be mentioned in it. And then obviously the Browns had to respond, and Dorsey had to issue a statement. He said, our coaching search will be thorough and deliberate, but we're still in the process of composing a list of candidates, and Secretary Rice has not been discussed. Of course she hasn't, because why would you? It doesn't even make any sense, all right? Like, obviously she's been around football, but hey, so have I, and I'm not throwing my name in the circle.
I mean, you could.
No, thank you. The pushback anyway is going to be that, well, like, a woman shouldn't coach in football. I can't hold this all the time. The woman shouldn't coach in football because a woman's never played football, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to play in the highest level to then coach on that level. It's like the first knock. Like, okay, well, Todd Haley never played football in college. So women can play football in high school, and there are women that do play football in high school. So we're just going to go, based off of that fact, we're going to go college and above, right? That's going to be the argument I'll accept from a normal functioning person, okay?
Playing
Knuckle
the
draggers, we are not speaking to right now, okay? Because there's just no reasoning with them, and I don't have time for it. But you're going to make the argument that you have to have coached or played at some level to understand the game. Todd Haley never played in college, okay? He played golf. Adam Gase never played professional or college football. He's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Al Davis played baseball in college. All right? Joe Philbin, again, not a whole list of success, but nevertheless, they've been given head coaching positions and still hold coaching positions in the NFL right now. Played one season of college football at Division III Washington and Jefferson. Mike McCarthy plays with the Packers, played at an NAIA school in Kansas, Baker University. Mike Tomlin played Division II at William & Mary, or Division I II at William & Mary. Like, you don't need to play at college at all to get a coaching job in the NFL. So scratch that idea that a woman needs to play college football in order to have the experience to play in the NFL.
Charlie Weiss never played football, never put cleats on his feet to play football.
Never.
And he was a head coach in Notre Dame and recruited me, and obviously, he knows talent.
The point is, you
Yes.
don't have to play college football in order to be qualified for a position in the NFL or in college
Yes.
at any level if you're a man. So that notion should just be dismissed. So the problem is with hiring a woman coach and this is what the NBA has been so good at. You have to start hiring women at assistant coaches and position coaching jobs because that's how people then move up in the business. That's how men move up in the business, and that's how players transition into coaching, move up in the business to become coaches. They have to go through the coaching pipeline. The NBA has been good at this. That's why Becky Hammon's name is continuously thrown out there, and she's going to get a head coaching job eventually.
Yeah.
She's been under Pop for years. She coached their summer league team. You just saw Nancy Lieberman win the Big Three championship. Like it's not these things have to be put in place so that long term those things change. Now I know Jen Welter. She was the first woman to hold an NFL coaching position. She was the preseason intern with the Arizona Cardinals. And now there's Kelsey Martinez. She's with the Raiders. Katie Sowers with the 49ers. And Karen Smith is with the Buffalo Bills. And you don't hear these women's names. Jen is like the most well-known name that's out there because it was with Bruce Arians and it was very well publicized. And look, I'm all for it. I just think like the first steps have to be made.
Yeah, which they are.
Like, I'm not campaigning for, like, okay, right now, go hire a woman because there isn't a qualified candidate.
Right.
Which is why this Condoleezza Rice story pisses me off. Because
Yes.
people throw this name out there like, oh, Condoleezza Rice. And everyone's like, Condoleezza Rice isn't qualified. No, it's qualified. Never going to happen. It's like, yeah, it's not going to happen because Condoleezza Rice is not qualified. It makes a mockery of the entire statement. It's really dismissive. Like, it's nonsense.
It's a distraction
like saying,
to
like,
the
oh,
actual problem.
let me just hire this reality TV star that runs a business to run the country.
Or someone who calls games to coach a professional football team that's moving to another city the next season.
Okay, well, he did coach before.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
But he did coach before.
Okay,
I get what you're saying,
but
he was at one point or another a coach. And
if we're splitting hairs.
We're splitting hairs.
Yes, if we're splitting hairs, then we can do that.
So anyway, I spoke to Jen, and overall she thinks it's positive that they're having this conversation. She agrees with me, like the NBA is a step ahead of the NFL in this regard. And look, there's professional football leagues for women, but not on the level that the WNBA is. So obviously there's a easier path as far as women go to coaching in the NBA than it is necessarily for the NFL. And then there's also the whole the idea that like you can't have a woman in the locker room. Like it's just silly. Okay, there's women that work on the staff. There's reporters, and like this idea that women can't be leaders of men, like that's all stupid. That doesn't, and this is what Jen said, I'm inserting mine right now. But she also said that one thing that's going to be really important is we don't pay attention to all the politics that go along with coaching. Like you have to have a really big network. And in order to attract top talent, like you have to be out there and meeting players and in the mix with everything that's going on. So that's all very important. And all of that has to start with them implementing women in these lower level positions so that they can eventually move up. Like you have to learn how all this works. So it's not going to be a situation where somebody just pops in and all of a sudden they're a head coach. But this whole idea is like, well, no one's qualified. So
no, it's a slow creep and a crawl even to change the culture of the sport. NBA has done that. And NFL is taking small steps, but it's going to take, I don't want to say decades, but like it's going to take over time before women are seen as capable of doing something that we all know that they're capable of doing. Well,
that's the point though. Like you have to start putting women in these positions so that when it's what happened with Becky Hammon. Like you have to start putting them on the staff so that then they move up and then their names start getting circulated in those talks when a head coaching position comes up. That's how it's all going to work. One small step.
Man.
All right, Lit List.
It's lit at the light show. Ooh.
Oh, this is so fun.
What?
Lamar Jackson.
Don't.
He got a win. What? I'm being serious. I'm not being sarcastic.
It does not sound sincere.
I mean, this is not sustainable. What? This is not 27. No, 20. That's not sustainable. But I like it. And shout out to Lamar Jackson for letting all those silly people that thought he was going to be a wide receiver eat it. And although it was mostly running, says wide receivers catch up to run up the catch. But anyway, the point is, he got 117 rushing yards and 150 passing yards, and the Ravens beat the Bengals, and they are still alive now. Joe Flacco, he's probably bye until Lamar makes some mistakes, which he's bound to do.
He's still injured. He'll be out next week as well. I think.
Yeah. So they ended their 3-game losing streak, and they got their first win in over a month. And I like it, and it's really fun. It was fun to watch. He's exciting. I am not being sarcastic in any way whatsoever. Okay, I don't know why everyone's looking at me like that. But all I'm saying is you can't. That is not a sustainable formula for an offense or for a quarterback. It's just not safe. You cannot run the ball 27 times. It's not safe, and they know that. And it's fine for a first game. We're gonna need to evolve from that though.
First time starting.
Yeah.
Right? No, let's just put in first time starting. He was supposed to be a bench guy. He's been pissing off Joe Flacco for the entire season because they keep putting him in at quarterback. He came out, showed out, managed the game well enough, like a Dak Prescott would. Won his first game against a division rival. Okay? These are all very, very strong positives that will not win. That will not lead to long-term success for the Ravens. Correct. Unfortunately,
he's gonna need to throw the ball. But I like it, and it was fun. All right, so LeBron and the Lakers. It pains me to do this because he put up 51 on the Heat, which is just annoying. But
it's a message.
What message? What? That we put you on the map as a champion.
That
we backed you up for 4 straight years while the entire world hated you.
Sometimes Pat Riley, if LeBron got shut down,
that we taught you how to win championships. We taught you how to win championships. Put the pieces around
Pat
you
Riley
that you needed to get
send
there.
out a tweet and said, "So glad to have him back."
Got Ray
he had
Allen,
to show up.
who saved your legacy. What was the message?
Y'all jerseys are cute. And
they
it was cute, and it was cute when I was there, but it helped me get to where I am now, and that is a Los Angeles Laker.
But I'm going to say it, as irrelevant as the Brooklyn Nets are, I mean, those jerseys are fly. With a Coogee?
Ooh, I ain't seen no Coogee on no jerseys.
What? Where Brooklyn at?
Okay, Brooklyn at. There they are.
Yes, I love them. Yeah. I won't wear one, but I love them.
What are you saying about LeBron? Sounds like you're about to say something bad about LeBron. Which is
no,
crazy.
I'm not. He's on the lit list. What
Unless
do you mean?
You're talking about the Orlando Magic game.
They're 9-7. They're in 7th place in the West, and it's interesting when LeBron went to the Heat.
Yeah.
Started 9-7. We went back to the Cavs. Started 9-7. This year, Lakers started 9-7. You know what he did in both of those years? Lost in the finals. So I'm not predicting. Listen, a Lakers loss in the finals is actually a win for the Lakers.
Didn't he get to the finals?
Not so much for LeBron James.
Didn't he
for
get
that,
to the finals?
Lakers.
If he gets to the finals,
for that finals record. But
if he gets to the finals this year, the first year of the Lakers, and loses, that's still a huge success. Because guess what? The Golden State Warriors are in the West.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Sure. That's fine. Like that's acceptable.
History can repeat itself.
Honestly, I believe if the Lakers made it to the finals, they're not losing to anyone in the East. As much as the East is way more interesting, and I like a lot of the teams in the East this year, maybe I don't know, maybe Toronto, because Kawhi ain't scared of no LeBron James. But,
and they have the reinforcements that they need to exact whatever
but
punishment
like LeBron
they need
against
over LeBron.
Boston, that's Boston's going home with the L.
Gordon Hayward still needs to fit
happening
with that system a little bit.
And the Sixers, no chance. I don't trust the Bucks in that spot. So, really, it would just be Toronto, and I think that the Lakers could beat Toronto in a 7-game series if they made it to the finals. Because that means they got past the Warriors.
We'll talk about rosters after trade deadline.
Anyway, the point is, they're lit right now, and if they come back off of this road trip 2-1, that's a success. And then I believe they had the Jazz at home when they get back here to LA. So, 51 points. I believe that's the 13th time he's done that in his career. In his 16th season, which is really it's really kind of like his 17th season if you count all the playoff games. Mm-hmm. So anyway, LeBron playing well.
Fifth player to score 50 for 3 different teams in NBA history. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that stat? I feel like that was a nice annoying one for you. Right. You like that one?
Anyway, finally on the lit list, I know everyone talks about this, and I know it gets everybody bothered. But I have a difference of opinion about this. So generally they say, you avoid things, you avoid topics at dinner, right? Like you avoid religion, yes. Politics, and what else do you avoid? What's the other thing you're not supposed to talk about?
It's race, religion, and politics. Race, religion, and politics.
Okay, well,
in this America, race is always on the table.
Okay, but you're with your family, so you have a pretty mixed family to have.
2018,
an issue with that.
a lot of those families are a little mixed nowadays.
I have a mixed family, but race isn't really a big conversation. But let's say sex. You don't avoid the sex talks unless your family's
Sure,
weird. Okay,
sure.
but the point is,
Turkey spread
let's just
open on
count
the table.
religion and political conversation. Okay, I'm also going to remove religion from this because in general it's a family. So you probably, unless you have one outlier who's trying something new.
Guess who's coming?
Yes, this is coming to dinner. Political conversation is going to be, there's going to be memes everywhere about how to deal with your family this year with political talk. I'm not going to name any names, but people have issues with political conversations with their families.
Yep.
I don't have these problems because luckily for me, my entire family is on the same page. So
One of those families.
actually, that's not true. I have some members of my family that lean to the other side.
Who's not invited
And
to dinner?
no, they're invited to dinner.
Okay,
but I
just
also
checking.
have I just get it. I have no problem with arguing with people.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
I have no problem with arguing with people.
Neither
I find
do
it
I.
fun. I find it part of
exercise.
holiday tradition.
Yeah.
It's a tradition in my family no matter what.
Sparring.
So holiday arguments to me are like, it's not really a holiday if someone doesn't get in an argument.
Yes, unless somebody is like mad,
And
like tears.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta cry.
I feel like that's a success. And
Yeah.
I don't get bothered by that stuff. Like, I think it's
no.
funny every single time.
Yes.
And because I think it's funny, people get more angry at me. Like, you're so selfish
Yes.
and you
Inconsiderate.
like inconsiderate. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're so bothered about something so stupid. You're never going to remember what this fight is about. Or maybe
Right.
you will. And that's on you. Like,
Right.
I'm petty.
Yeah.
And I never remember
The
one
next
argument.
Thanksgiving, it's like he was crying about something.
Yeah,
What was you
what were you
crying
crying
about?
about?
I couldn't
And
remember. We
it's-
laughed afterwards real
yes.
big, but I couldn't remember what you was
It's
crying
so
about.
stupid.
Yeah.
But political conversations are going to be a big thing this year, especially. And here's my advice to you. Okay.
Ooh, advice.
Talk about politics. Argue about it, because
Mm-hmm.
if you really believe whatever it is that you believe, and I only believe there's one thing, but if certain people believe other things about politics, whatever it is the issue is, argue with your person, because that's the only way you're going to change. And it's one heart at a time. Okay.
Yes.
It might completely up your Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Your family may hate you.
Yes.
But don't come crying to me when you're like, you know what? My aunt Beatrice,
Yes.
she just will not move on this migrant caravan thing. And I've just been trying, it's so upset me. She sat there the entire Thanksgiving dinner and just spewed all this hate, and she has no idea what she's talking about. I just couldn't stand it. Like, bitch, did you say anything to her?
My aunt's name is actually Meredith, not Margaret.
I said Beatrice.
Oh.
Mildred.
I thought you said Margaret.
No, I mean
Mildred,
I was about
Beatrice,
to. It was on top of my
Margaret.
lips.
Gertrude.
Yeah.
What if it's 1 verse 12?
I mean, then you better buck up. Get
That's
it how
the
you
thing.
live.
So here's
listen. The thing about it is I can't condone complaining about you believe something so strongly,
Yeah.
but the people that you love the most.
Yeah.
Are saying something that offends you to your core,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna let them say it. Like, my advice is this: if somebody says something that's outlandish, just say something outlandish back, and just see what happens.
Yeah,
like,
honestly,
you
no,
know what?
being silent-
I can't. I'm not picking on any particular subject. Let's do something less serious.
We're literally picking on political.
Yeah, okay, so there's nothing that's not gonna be serious. Let's say, okay, the environment, all right? People are split on this environment thing. Maybe there's global warming, maybe there's not.
That's
so,
a good one to start.
And there's really no argument because
Ice caps and
science. So, but people don't believe in science sometimes.
Science.
So, so when the person that is sitting across from you is like, well, it can't be global warming because there's snow outside, then maybe instead of just sitting there like angry and like, chugging your wine or whatever it is you do when you're mad, maybe just be like, hey, Uncle Todd or whatever your person is, okay, you do understand that that's not how global warming works. And then explain to him how global warming works in front of the whole family. So there's probably one other person at the table that understands how science
But they're
works.
gonna-
And then maybe they'll back you up. And then maybe you'll get your Uncle Todd to move the
No.
gears a little bit.
Spreading out millennial math is not going to help people at their dinner tables. I don't think that's going to help. I think
I'm giving good advice.
I will say this though. Being silent, this is the climate we're in after being silent for so many years of Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Maybe
Thank you.
that's
We
all we need
created
is like
this.
speak up a little bit. Speak.
Silence
have
is
the conversation.
compliance.
Don't be afraid to be wrong. Don't be afraid to be wrong because they're not.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. We not on a shirt. Okay. All I'm saying is just speak up. All right. It might ruin everyone's Thanksgiving. They may hate you forever. But at the end of the day, if you changed one little person's thoughts on one thing and then you've made an impact, that's all I'm saying. Tell the person who thinks that the snow means that there's no pollution that they're fucking wrong. And maybe the earth could be melting right under us. And we should probably, use glass straws instead of plastic. Which is where I just lost Ashley because she hates this straw
Straws
thing.
on the hot seat.
Straws are on the hot seat. Straws are fired.
Dumbest thing ever.
R.I.P. Straws.
No, it's not.
R.I.P. Straws.
We're completely
Straws
dependent on plastic.
They don't contribute to marine pollution.
Yes, they do.
No, they
you don't like
don't.
sea turtles? You don't with sea turtles?
Shame on you. Sea turtles are
First of
so
all,
cute.
I like
They
sea
live
turtles.
forever.
Probably the only one in this building
You know
that
what?
actually
You are
tagged
pro
sea turtles
killing sea
all
turtles,
summer
and
for
that is
3
a
summers in a
shame.
row.
Shame on you.
So
You do not.
I don't believe in
too.
dinosaurs,
And
but I'm
there's
trying to save
Islands.
sea turtles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying, like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't
know
care
what I mean?
about sea
I'm trying to meet
turtles,
in the
Ashley.
middle.
It's okay.
I'm trying
that
to meet in
is
the middle.
bullshit because I
Compromise.
care about sea turtles, but I care about them so much that I know that straws don't do a damn thing to them. It's the other things. It's the fishing lines.
You want to see that video again? I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
There's
it's
one
very
video.
sad.
There's one video from 2015, and it's ruined straws for life. But
I heard
hate
about
you guys
but
so
remember,
much.
don't say they just
Joy
that
did
one
this on
video.
purpose. I'm
Yeah.
setting the microphone
Oh,
You know what I'm
down.
saying?
Just one time.
Rodney King was just one video.
Just one thing.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There was that one time.
Anyway,
Watergate
all
was
I'm
that
saying-
one time.
All I'm saying is just argue with your family, okay? It's positive.
It'll be fun. You guys will love. It'll give
Yeah.
a reason to
It'll
hug.
Spice it up.
Yeah, spice it up.
All right, loser power rankings. Loser power rankings. These are the losers of the week. Okay. So, Jags. It's over. I'm sorry.
We already did this, so can we go faster?
I was right.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles 10 of 18 for 104 yards in that L to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're stuck with him forever. Or at least for the next 6 years or something. I don't know what his contract is, but it's ridiculous. And I try to tell you, I'm sure he's a nice man. Okay, he's like very blue collar. But he's yeah, he'd be
Every
great in a bar
time.
fight. He's very big.
Heard here first.
I
from
might take him in a bar
Crazy.
fight too. He's very big. Big people tend to help in bar fights because they take up space.
You're welcome.
And bar fights are different than every other type of fight.
We're talking about Blake Bortles right now.
Okay.
Just let's get through the. I'm sorry. I still like their defense. I'm sorry, Blake. I rode for you. I hope we get a chance to meet and we can talk about the bowl game we had where I almost sacked you on third and something. I'm in no doubt because I was really bad on third down. But yeah, I'm over it.
All right, good. USC. So there's an old saying for USC football fans: there's nothing better than beating Notre Dame and nothing worse than losing to UCLA. Well, you're gonna take the L to Notre Dame. That's for show.
I don't know
you
that.
Already lost. I do.
I don't know
I
that.
don't think I'm more sure about anything.
I can't do that. As an alumni who knows they can get up, those guys, they recruit athletes, they get up for any game, it's gonna be this one.
Yeah, USC is not good, and they're going to
they're
lose to Notre Dame, and they
Hopefully.
lost to UCLA. They are now 3-8.
Crazy.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Bruins are 3-8.
Yeah.
They lost 34-27. That's the worst UCLA team the USC has lost to since the 1950s. So that is unfortunately going to be probably most likely the end for Clay Helton.
Yep.
There's a lot of names that are being thrown out there. I mean, it's been talked about before the season even started that it might be his last year anyway.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson's been talked about.
Love Hugh there.
They wanted to throw Pete Carroll in the mix at the beginning of the year. That's not a thing. Seahawks
The
are
oldest
not
NFL coach
ever
to
happening.
come
Yeah,
coach
that's
college
just
football.
not a thing.
Right.
So I mean, this is still a good job. Like, it's still USC. I know they're in a
Yeah.
bad way right now, but whoever they hire is going to be given whatever they need to turn it around, and they're going to want to turn it around because the USC is not standing for this. But he took that L to UCLA, and great win for Chip Kelly. Really, the only game he had to win this year, based off the fact that how bad they are. But the whole situation with UCLA and Chip Kelly, they have a very, very, very young team. They're I don't know the percentages, but like, basically all freshmen.
Young and
okay,
bad.
they're very young. It's not his recruits, as you know. So, and that doesn't mean anything.
that
Like, he's
before.
gonna have to develop them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But
Thanks.
the point is, at the beginning of the year, it was like, man, they paid Chip Kelly a lot of money. This is not good. But they did lose Josh Rosen, and they have a very, very young team. So
Josh Rosen wanted to be talked into staying by Chip Kelly, and he didn't even take the time out of his schedule to do so.
And he shouldn't.
Insane.
He should not have. He's going to the NFL. No reason for him to stay.
Okay.
But USC definitely took the L this week, and they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again next
Shouts
week.
out to Notre Dame. I called it the beginning when Brandon was right. The beginning of the season, as soon as we beat Michigan, I said Michigan is a real football team. They'll probably win the Big Ten. This is Notre Dame's chance to get into the national championship playoff race within the first 5 years of it being implemented. Huge for recruiting. Notre Dame's back. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't wait to see. I'm going to the game this weekend. Every time they come out to USC, I come see them. I'll hang out with Tommy and them. They stay at the Ritz in Marina Del Rey. I'll probably bring some players from in and out. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out and chilling. What?
Are you gonna out where they stay?
Yeah, hanging out with it. Marina Del Rey, Ritz-Carlton, Notre Dame, stay there. They'll be there Thursday.
Okay. Anyway.
Bring your jerseys.
Anyway, all right. Finally, for Loser Power Rankings, it is Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yes.
We hope you're enjoying your time with your family.
Merry holidays.
If you've decided to fight with your family about politics and now you are stuck in a room watching us, hello.
Good for you.
Anyway,
Welcome.
My loser this week is we've decided to pick one food item as a loser.
Yes.
Brandon made this inexplicable power ranking at the beginning of the show for food, and he had cranberry sauce as number 1. Cranberry sauce is the worst. Cranberry sauce is disgusting.
Which one?
It's
the homemade stuff?
It's homemade stuff.
People do homemade, and it's kind of not as good as the box
All cranberry sauce is disgusting,
That's not
especially the
true.
can with the jiggle, and it's so tart, and then it has like this like paste on the tongue.
Oh, you're not
It's-
buying the Ocean Spray. You got to get the Ocean Spray bottle or can, and then get that.
What?
That's the. Oh, I mean,
That's
y'all know what it's
that's-
like when the cranberry sauce come out the can. I may have just mimicked it and mimed it with my hand and the noise, and that is for visual. But y'all know what it's like when it hit the and that's fun time, right? Once the
You're not
fun don't
helping
stop.
yourself here. The point is, cranberry sauce is disgusting, and I don't even know what the purpose of it is. What do you put it on?
It is the real Thanksgiving paste between foods.
No,
It is
mashed
the-
potatoes is the
it-
base.
I'm telling you the
It just
proper
makes
paste.
everything taste like cranberries. Who wants that?
Listen, actually, this is perfect. I know now. This is why you don't like stuffing. If you like stuffing, you would respect cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce and stuffing is a match
Is that
made in
what it
heaven.
is?
It's yes, it is. It's two opposite sides. It's Lady and the Tramp. It's give me some other one, guys. Cat Dog. Triple H and The Rock. It's just like
Cat Dog was just
together.
What was that show? That's what's wrong with all of us, honestly, is that we consume too much Cat Dog.
and Ren and Stimpy and
Ren and Stimpy.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocket Power saved us. Rocket Power saved us. The whatever LSD the people that make
Yeah,
cartoons
that
was
was not a good time for
Right?
us as humans. I feel like a lot is wrong with me because of that. Also, Beavis and Butthead definitely destroyed some of our brain cells. As much as I love Beavis and Butthead,
and that movie is great.
very good,
Butthead Do
very
America.
good. They tried to help us with
Cornholio.
Captain Planet and Thundercats.
Captain Planet, he was a hero.
Did you ever watch
Gonna
David?
take pollution
Did you
down
ever
to
watch
zero.
David the Gnome?
David the Gnome. No, I was waiting. This is what happens every time. If you're not born in the same year, you just go, and then there's that one thing. It's like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Damn, does anyone remember David the Gnome? Am I just
David
too
and
old?
Gnome.
I think I'm too old.
David and Gnome.
David the Gnome.
David the Gnome.
What channel?
No. Yeah, what channel?
I don't remember. It was
RCA.
a long time
RCA
ago.
channel was one of the first broadcast networks.
It was a very,
channels.
very old cartoon.
Shuts out.
Anyway, what's your loser food?
Hot Cheeto turkey. Hot Cheetos turkey. Hot Cheetos turkey. Okay, so Michelle sent me this, and this is big time. Okay, Reynolds Wrap is trying to, you know how they be putting out ads to try to get into the game, like, oh, try this, right? I'm just gonna read this.
People buy Reynolds Wrap anyway. It's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you need it. I like
Right.
I'm riding with the store brand right now for foil. Anyways, hot Cheeto lovers can now incorporate their favorite snack in their Thanksgiving dinner. Reynolds Wrap posted a hot turkey in an oven bag recipe where all you do is crumble spicy Cheeto puffs coating on the turkey when you go to cook it.
It sounds like diarrhea.
It
Sounds like instead, why don't I just eat something that's going to immediately, just take a pill and diarrhea.
use butter and oil around the turkey.
What's the
thing.
medicine that takes you that makes you go? That you take?
Pepto-Bismol?
No, that's opposite.
X-Lax?
X-Lax?
Is that?
Yeah.
It does sound.
I'll
Oh yeah,
save
because
myself some trouble and just do that.
yeah. So that hot Cheeto doing crazy things to your turkey, guys.
Yeah, just
like,
cook the turkey regular.
Just
And if you're
or
gonna-
don't at all. I actually don't.
If you're gonna deep fry the turkey, also please be careful.
Yeah, I heard that's bad.
Well, no, deep fried turkey is delicious, but
No, I know
it's
it's
the
good,
process
but it
of
could
it.
be
I
bad.
just,
Yeah, we're just doing
it's
that.
over.
All right.
All right, Migos Culture Report.
Yes.
First of all, before we get started,
Yes.
want to give a shout out to James Corden for just excellent content consistently
Thank
with
you.
Carpool Karaoke.
Yes.
I just really, we don't deserve it. It's so strong. And
Clip it down, show it,
Migos
let us share it.
was just perfection. It was so enjoyable.
Lights are cameras on. They're good.
They're strong.
They deliver.
They're strong, and he is great. So
Who's he? Which he?
James Corden.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I just want to mention that we saw it and it was good. And this is the Migos Culture Report. Continue.
I don't have anything officially written down for this Migos Culture Report, but Joy and I both watched Widows this weekend.
We did see Widows,
and I went with Michelle. We went the Thursday night right before the thing. The ArcLight people were very Have you been to ArcLight?
Yeah, ArcLight's great.
It's just a little. It's a little pushy on the bouginess. I gotta. I'll tell you what. I got a red wine movie pour.
Yeah.
To watch the film, it seems like that's the only way to watch that movie.
You're not wrong. Although
Right.
I had white wine, and I usually get red wine, but I had white wine and it was also movie pour, which is a wonderful offer that they give.
Right. It's like whatever ounce and then movie pour. I don't know what that is, but yes.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
thank you. I'm going into a
why would I
movie
take less
currently.
wine? Yeah. So Widows was great.
It was great?
Yes, I also saw it with Earl.
What do you like? Okay, acting was one thing.
No, okay. First of all, I want to say Viola Davis
should we spoil
is.
alert?
Yes. Well, spoiler alert. We're reviewing the movie, so everything we're going to say is about the movie. If you haven't seen
We're
it,
going to talk about it.
Just
It came
scroll
out.
forward a little
Sorry.
bit. Yeah. There's really not. There's actually a lot to spoil, but I loved it. I thought it was great. It was so great. The casting was awesome.
Casting's great.
The storyline was great. The outcome was great. I was happy with everything that happens. I would change nothing.
Okay.
I feel like it was honestly standalone, like Ocean's 11 level.
Okay. So now we're getting somewhere because here's my issue. It was an attempt. It was like an urban, poorly done Departed. Yes.
No.
Listen, I say The Departed because it was long. There was beats. There was tons of beats.
It was not long.
There were tons of beats that did not matter. 129
Like what?
minutes. You want me? Are we going to actually spoil alert this
part?
thing?
Yeah, we are. We already said it. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
What part
All right.
didn't matter?
Spoiler alert. What? Ashley, if you don't stop.
Wait,
Liam Neeson.
wait. Hold on. Who in here has not seen it?
I mean, no one's
Widows?
seen
You saw
The
it?
Widows. It just came out.
It's so good.
It's so good. Oh my god. Okay, so let's.
All right, fine. We can't spoil it. What do you mean? Everybody else can't leave either. We're not going to ruin it for them. It's not all about you, Ashley.
The plot. Okay, I say the acting outshined the plot. Because the plot was way too like the poke, the holes, the serendipitous nature of like how they find information to get to what they need to do is so crazy.
No,
the
I couldn't disagree more. I thought
the twists were cool.
Perfectly casted. I love what's her name from Fast and Furious?
Michelle Rodriguez barely acted in that film.
What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, she was the worst character.
No, she was like the best.
Oh
no,
my
Michelle,
gosh.
First of all, don't be disrespectful. Michelle Rodriguez is great in everything she's in. Loved her. Viola Davis is so strong.
As always, she might as well have been her
carry any movie. Liam Neeson.
She might as well have been her same
Liam
character
Neeson
from
was
How to Go Your Murder.
The perfect casting for that.
Annalise.
I love the big tall white girl. She was awesome.
She was great. I know because Michelle really liked. I was like, oh, you like that one? Oh, that's your favorite? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but she was good.
She was good.
And she wasn't
good.
even atypical. And she wasn't American white.
The
She was kind of
safe
American
house.
white, but she's got the mom that's kind of
Joy.
up.
How they
And then
found out
she's
about the safe house though is ridiculous.
What?
That makes no sense at
How
all.
would they not find out about it?
The way they did it was just like, oh, this random guy who she met the first time. Like, it's all ridiculous. The son, Joy, you're okay with that narrative?
That was perfect. Everything was perfect.
It's like, I'm going to make sure this movie's in 2018 when
It
people watch
was in
it.
2018. It makes perfect sense.
All right.
Anyway, it was I loved it. Go see it. I don't know what Brandon's talking about.
And they
I
trying to
know
make
this
my man from
conversation
Get
was gonna
Out
go
a bad
differently.
guy. Ever since
he can be a bad guy. He can't always be a good guy.
He always is a bad guy now.
Why is he a bad guy? It was perfect.
It's a negative dark-skinned narrative.
He was what? He
That's
was
what
the
it is.
hero of Get Out. Everybody died. He killed everybody.
And then in Wakanda, he sold out the one person we was King T'Challa. King T'Challa.
I hate you.
Go watch the movie.
Stop.
I say, listen, I was going to give it a 79,
He is
but I thought
great.
about it.
He is great in Widows.
Liam Neeson. You can't have Liam Neeson on the screen without me vomiting.
What?
It's like it's just take me back to like I'm supposed to remember.
Are you being disrespectful to Taken right now? Are you just being disrespectful to the Taken series?
Some franchises are too big and the screens they don't cross over well. Sometimes there'll always be that. Liam Neeson will always be looking for his daughter in a movie.
Find you,
he was always
and I will
looking
kill
for his
you.
daughter.
I wrote that on a note once because people kept letting their dog shit in my front yard, and I made a note and I put it on a post in my front yard and said that my father is Liam Neeson, and if you let your dog shit in my yard again, he's gonna come find you. And if I recall correctly, it worked.
Yes.
So don't be disrespectful to Liam Neeson.
Dog, huge plot in that movie. When I say this, the ArcLight,
Win for dogs too.
Win for dogs. The ArcLight film that I saw, they started with Stephen McQueen saying
the dog reveals the biggest twist.
Biggest twist.
All right, we're done with this movie. All I'm saying is, shout out Steve McQueen. I don't know what Brandon's talking about. He is excellent. Excellent director,
he did.
Excellent casting, excellent plot. I give it 5 stars out of 5 stars. If that's where we're ranking things.
Go see it. Clear the afternoon.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah,
a good watch. Disrespectful. All right, fun stuff this week. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We hope you enjoy time with your family, time off of work. Yep. Be safe. Don't do any of the driving. There's still people Ubering, I'm sure.
Take a water break.
Take a water break. Yes, water in between the drink.
Yes.
Fight with your family.
Please.
I encourage it.
For your kids.
It's really for your kids' future. You should fight with your family. Yeah. If they're saying silly, stupid things. But anyway, thank you for joining us every week. We appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Maybe I'm Crazy Pod. Follow us on our social media pages at Maybe I'm Crazy Pod. Follow Brandon Newman Show 99. Myself, Joy Taylor Talks. Ashley's always dropping stuff, so she's contributing. Yep, she's a Arnhem, if you want to follow her, since she obviously wanted to shout out.
With the mic drop.
She's filling in for Heller wonderfully today. It's just really it's a nice transition. Like I thought, it felt like we were going to be missing a lot with Heller out, and we haven't missed a beat. Also, shout out to the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast Fantasy Football League.
Yes.
Shout out to myself, currently winning. Will likely not walk away with the win. However,
okay.
This week I'm going to predict that. You're down a lot. Brandon and I are going against each other right now. I have the win. I have the advantage. 97 points to your 67. So good 30-point lead there. However, I have the Chiefs defense, inexplicably.
And who does Brandon have?
And why would I do that? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And then you have Patrick Mahomes. So it could be
homie Mahomes.
It could be a little tricky for me this week, but we will see, and we will let you know the outcome of that later on in the week. Thanks for joining us again. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, very thankful for you guys.
Yes, we are thankful for each and every one of your views and your comments and your likes and your follows and your subscribes.
Keep paying for Wi-Fi so you can keep watching us.
Exactly. Unless you're Brandon's dad and you unplug it at the end of the night because you think you're saving money. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving. We love you guys. Catch you next week.
Bye.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.